And when you feel pressure, when you feel stress, that little guy or that little girl feels pressure and stress too, right? So you want to keep calm, you want to keep that. And then, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's situational help, we have an interesting situation. It's nothing too drastic, but I know in this mother situation, it can be really frustrating and tiring. It sounds like the feeling that I'm getting most is just tire and exhaustion and not knowing what to do. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to go through this, give some ideas, and give some help to this mother and to you if you're facing something similar. Okay, here we go. I made the mistake of posting this in the wrong group and only received comments that had no solutions and judgment. Yeah, that's a shame. This was actually posted in my group, Conscious Parent Leaders, and I'm sorry. I know some parenting groups, especially, well, I don't know, some parenting groups, they can be quite judgmental, right? But anyway, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. So please only comment if you have actual ideas to how to help. My 1-year-old has 7 teeth. We have the foam rubber bumpers on the edge of the table since he got mobile, but he now has started eating the foam. And I'm gonna laugh at this a little bit. To the mother dealing with this, I don't mean to laugh at your pain, but it's a funny situation. That's first lesson. Like, reframe a situation and separate yourself emotionally from whatever action or behavior is going on. It has been weeks of redirection, distraction, rubbing vinegar and soap on the tables, and nothing has worked. Not even vinegar? Like, rubbing vinegar on the tables hasn't worked? That's crazy. I don't know what else to do, but this pregnant mama can't get up to move him 1,000 times a day. Any ideas or recommendations? This is where I said, like, I mean, you're a pregnant mama with a 1-year-old. So that has got to be challenging, right? So first, yeah, I feel you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see if I can help you, give you some ideas here moving forward. To start out with, you put foam rubber bumpers. I was never into the child-proofing my house. I never did that. I'm not saying it's wrong. It might be right to do it. Who knows? But I was never into that. I'm just into, like, as they're little, they would get into little trouble and maybe close their hand in a drawer or something that would cause pain but not damage. And then they learn, be careful with the drawer, some stuff like that, right? But we just didn't do that. I should also add, we tried removing the bumpers. That was okay, which removed the finish on the table, and he also chews on that, chirping off more. Wow. Are you sure this is a human and not a puppy? Yeah, it sounds like a puppy. We have bought numerous teething toys, all different types. Apparently, nothing tastes as good as this table. I see you have sense of humor. I mean, that's awesome. Tap into that, lean into that more, lean into separating yourself emotionally from this and see kind of what's happening, right? But my family suggestions are to swat his hand, mouth, or butt so he learns. And I like that you put that in quotes. That's not even a thought or an option. Congratulations. That's so awesome, right? And I love that you put this in quotes. You know, we have that, like, teach him a lesson and things like that. And we mix that with, like, punishment. And that's sending such mixed messages. And I acknowledge you, and I want you to acknowledge yourself for having this awareness, you know? Also, for now, the coffee table does have to stay in this room. So it's our primary living area. Yeah, so normally what I would say, based on my experience, and this helped me out a lot when I was going through these little phases with my kids, is to realize that it is a phase and it will pass, you know? But I know that doesn't help you now. And you said it's been weeks. So I would expect, hopefully giving you a little hope, I would expect it would end soon. But I don't know that I have many practical tips to get them to stop. If vinegar didn't work, if teething toys didn't work, maybe you could, I don't know if you have a playpen or have one of those like little foldable fences to put around the table, just to get like another little barrier to get to the table. You know what I mean? Those little fences that go in between the doors. I don't know how much those cost, but that is one option I would try, to create another like buffer layer, because obviously there is starting to become a habit, right? There's some sensation that he really enjoys with teething on this wooden table, you know? And of course, it's aside from ruining the table, there's danger of getting splinter, you know, toxins of varnish, things like that. The first thing I would say is what I've said before. The first step is to see what you can do to separate yourself emotionally from this. And I know it's one of those things, you see him getting over there again, going over to the table, and you're like, and it just creates this feeling in your body, which that's your body telling you something. So the next thing is find out where that feeling is in your body, because there's one of two things. Well, maybe more things, but I'm thinking one of two things. Either there's something about that table, the texture, the taste, it's a habit, the color, whatever, that keeps drawing his attention, chew on it. Another thing might be your reaction. So that's where this will help. Maybe he likes it. Maybe you go over and pick him up whenever he does it and he thinks it's a ride. Maybe you yell at him and you're getting or some sort of emotional trigger, and he's getting that emotional response. So that could be another thing that he's looking for, because kids, they're not thinking things like, oh, I'm going to do this and they're planning this devious thing. And that's why I love that you're not giving in to family member suggestions to swat his hand or mouth or to teach him so that he learns, right? Because it's nothing malicious. So it's a habit that he needs to break, and like punishing or hitting, violence, that's not a way to end it, right? So you want to put something in for him to replace this behavior. You know what I mean? So what can that be? That could be, like you said, try teething toys. Again, maybe take like a toy or something in front of the corner that he likes, or in front of the side that he likes, or in front of the whole table, and create a buffer. That could be an option. And wait this out too. That's another option. Just wait it out and continue finding your peace, separating emotionally, and without like an emotional response, you're like, hey, like, why don't you go over there? Or lie in between him and the table, and that way you can rest, you can lie down, and he kind of like crawls, so you make it a game. That risks like him finding it fun to try to go to the table, so that might not be the best option. But the absolute sure thing that I recommend you doing is to detach emotionally and regulate your own emotions, regulate your own levels, especially that you're a pregnant mama. You have a little bun in the oven. And when you feel pressure, when you feel stress, that little guy or that little girl feels pressure and stress too, right? So you want to keep calm. You want to keep that. And then you can think of this and address your 1-year-old without the emotional level. You can address your 1-year-old without the stress, without rising the levels of emotion. You know what I mean? So there's that. Those are some things. I don't know if that helps. I don't have any practical tactics, but the more we control within ourselves, the more we can control the situations around us, right? So the more we control ourselves. So separate from the situation, and some ways to do that. Take some breaths. Follow this type of counting, this type of breathing. I want you to, and you can follow me right now. Let's do it together. So close your eyes, and we're going to breathe in the nose for 4 seconds, hold it for a beat, and breathe out the mouth for 8 seconds. Hold it for a beat. In for 4, hold, out for 8. Ready? Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you just kind of continue like that for 3 or 4 times. And then you can address the situation. Then address your son. Then address the behavior. Then address the action. And then magical tactics will start appearing in your mind on what you can do, things to work, things to test, things to do. I hope this helps. Keep the faith. You're doing an awesome job, Mama. You're doing a fantastic job. Continue, keep at it. Keep being the conscious parent. Keep trying to break those cycles. Keep working to become a better version of yourself and loving yourself and loving your kids. If you are watching and you want me to break down a situation in your life and in your world and in your family, then join Conscious Parent Leaders or send me an email or a DM on Facebook, and I'll do what I can to help. All right, I'll see you in the next one.